Hello everyone and welcome back to the Unemployed Boys channel. This week we've got another Reddit video for you. But this time, we're looking at who the arseholes are. I'm looking at one right now.
Got a mirror in there or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's literally this massive mirror right in front of me.
Yeah.
Should we just crack on with it, Dexter?
Yes, but first, you need to do the YouTube thing.
What's the YouTube thing, Dexter?
Begging for subscribers.
Oh please subscribe to the channel, guys. We're trying to reach 1 million subscribers by the end of the year.
That's a big goal, Jesus.
Let's get into the first post of the day on r/am I the arsehole? That we can all agree I'm not. Am I the arsehole for refusing to give up my seat on the plane so a boy could sit next to his father? And to tell the father, behave yourself. So, basically, I'm a 29-year-old male, boarded my short flight of 70 minutes, which has a 2-to-2 seating arrangement. I booked myself a window seat, and when I got there, I saw a maybe 7-year-old boy sitting in there, next to his father, about 50 years old. The opposite row had his mother and his sister sitting there. Although this happened less than 24 hours ago, I was exhausted, so I don't remember the conversation word for word. I pointed towards my seat and the father asked me if I would mind swapping so they could sit together, and their seat is in the row behind it. I said that I would only swap if it's a window seat, and he said, it's an aisle seat. Then I said I wouldn't swap, and the following conversation happened. Would you like to be one of these people, Dexter?
Sure.
Do any voice of your liking. Would you like to be him?
I'll be him. I'm him.
You're him. We found him.
I am him. Just gotta prepare myself, you know?
La 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 la.
So, do you want to sit next to my son?
I don't care. I just want the window seat.
Wow. He's a burly guy.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm getting.
That's a bit confusing. You are a very nice person. I mean, not a very nice person.
It's none of your business. And be polite.
I am not.
And behave yourself.
Wow. Humanity, everyone.
There we go. Just your average conversation.
That's Oscar-worthy, I think.
I really love the bit where I could only see your torso. That was really good.
Yeah.
So that's how the conversation went. I've got a real good picture of the scene now. It's really vivid in my mind.
It's been painted out beautifully.
I just stood there looking at him serious, and I think he was trying to shame me initially, but then he didn't respond to anything else. His wife was watching this whole time, and when somebody in the row behind saw it, he offered to swap and sat next to me, so they did eventually sit next to each other. For all I care, they could have sat 20 rows apart or even booked a new flight. I had zero investment in this, or their reasons. They can ask, I can say no, and that should be the end of it in my opinion. I didn't like they basically pulled a fait to comply when trying to swap with me. If they care that much, they can book their seats in advance like everybody else. I didn't have a good reason why I need the window seat except that I like it, and I don't like the aisle seat. Laugh out loud.
Arsehole.
I agree.
If it was like a longer flight, then understandable.
Oh yeah,
70-minute flight.
70-minute flight. Also,
what does it matter?
He's not booked to sit next to someone he knows. He's on his own.
Yeah.
Fucking get out of there and let the kid be with his dad.
It's 70 minutes. It's not the end of the world. Like, I've sat in the aisle seat for 9.5 hours. It's not that bad. It's actually decent because you get to stick your feet out.
If I was on my own, I'm quite a naturally kind person. I mean, not to brag or anything.
God, Jesus,
But
putting on a performance for the YouTube
like,
channel.
I mean, look, let me give you some examples. I was outside of the Tank Museum, and the first 50 people got given a little snow globe with a tank in.
Wow.
I was like,
and then
yes!
a guy came up and him was like, you want the snow globe instead of my son.
You want the snow globe instead of your son? I don't want your son.
You want the snow globe instead of my son having the snow globe.
No, what I did was much nicer.
Wow.
There was a kid in front who got a snow globe, and he was so excited.
And you beat him up and took it off him.
No, so he dropped it, and it smashed on the floor. And
oh, Jesus.
the kids started having a breakdown. I could see the parents panicking. I was like, guys, hold my bags. I've got this. I walked over to this child, and I said, hey, would you like my snow globe? He was like, yes, please. And the parents were like, oh, thank you, you're a saint. And I'm like, oh, guys, stop it. I'm never going to tell this story to make myself look good. And here we are. What was the point of that? I would have given up my seat, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
If it's a
could have just
child,
said you would have given up your seat. And,
I could have just said that. Yeah. If it's a child or a pensioner, they can have it. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
Fuck pregnant women, I guess.
Technically, there's a child inside, so that counts.
Okay.
But I think we can agree this man is an arsehole. Am I the arsehole for accidentally ruining my autistic boyfriend's safe food? I mean, I'm already getting arsehole vibes.
Well, yeah, well, let's see what the accident is here.
It's already a red flag for me. My boyfriend loves stew. He wants to eat it every day for every meal. His favourite stew is beef tips. Beef tips? I've not got any beef tips, you guys, sorry. And vegetables from a local place, but it's really expensive. Like $47 for a big bowl every day. I can't afford that shit. I'm unemployed. And he's grossed out by leftovers, so more than half of it gets wasted as well. We've had a couple of arguments about it. He says I don't understand his brain. I say he doesn't understand our budget. Oh! I mean, look, both sides understandable at this point. Recently, I looked up some recipes, including doing a dissection of the takeout soup, and tried my hand at making a home-cooked replacement for stew night. He loved it for a few days, and then one night he was hanging out with me in the kitchen and saw me put tomato paste in the pot. He was really upset and demanded that I make the soup without the paste. I told him it wouldn't taste the same, but he said it would be better because he hates tomatoes. They're not safe food for him. So I made the soup with no tomato paste, and big surprise, something felt off about it to him. Instead of admitting that the tomato paste was necessary, he threw a fit and told me he didn't want home-cooked food anymore. If I was going to play with him and not take his safe food seriously, he thinks I'd changed more than just tomato paste in an effort to get him to admit he was wrong. Let's hope she didn't do that, because that would be kind of dicky.
Yeah.
$400 in stew orders later, I had an idea to ask the chef when we were picking up the order if there was any tomato products in the stew. And lo and behold, there is a tomato in a recipe. Fucking tomato paste. In my mind, this was great because I thought he would get over it if he knew this original perfect stew had tomato paste. Like, oh, I guess tomato paste isn't that bad then. But it was the exact opposite. He walked out of the restaurant without saying anything, then refused to eat the stew that night and hasn't ordered it again. And he's been ignoring me while sulking around the house, using his whiny voice a lot, and slamming things. His sister also texted me to tell me I'm a selfish asshole for needing to get back at him by taking his favourite food away. I literally just wanted to stop spending insane amounts of money on stew. I mean, it's stew of all things. I wasn't trying to hurt him or ruin his life. I'm not autistic. I can't really wrap my head around caring this much about a single ingredient. I genuinely didn't see this reaction coming. We've been together for 4 years and he's only had 3 other fits like this. The other ones were pretty reasonable. Those were also a little less intense and didn't include input from his family. This is the first time anyone in his family has ever spoke to me like this. So I've been back and forth between y'all are overreacting and what have I done? Am I the asshole?
Probably could have been more secretive about how you were making it. Could you not have, like, after the first time of him seeing the tomato paste, can you not just be like, okay, I'll take it out, and then when he leaves, you just put it.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I mean, it's probably the easiest solution here of just saying, oh, next time I won't make it without the paste, or with the paste, and then just whack it in there when he's not looking, and then he'll be like, oh, that's some delicious stew. Doesn't need tomatoes after all. You were wrong, and you just got to take one for the team.
Spending that much on very expensive stew that's out of the question. I mean, my dad was a really picky eater when he first met my mum. My dad's not autistic, but my mum was literally like, okay, well, I'm just gonna make what I want to eat then, and you can just you can just die if you don't want to eat it. Yeah.
That's one way to do it.
Threaten death.
I would say not the asshole. You're clearly not an asshole because you've spent $400 in stew after the tomato fiasco.
But in reality, you should have just kept making the stew with the tomato paste and said it wasn't in there. Are we gonna give the stamp of not an arsehole?
Yeah, I'd say no.
No arsehole here.
If it had been like, he said he hates tomatoes, so I purposefully put tomatoes in the soup.
So I opened his mouth and squeezed tomato paste in there. But she didn't do that, so we're all right. Am I the arsehole for not letting a woman cut in the line at the grocery store? Hi, Reddit. I need your opinion on a grocery store etiquette and not letting someone cut in the line. Tonight after work, I stopped by my local grocery store to grab a handful of items to make dinner. 5 in total. I manoeuvred my cart like an expert behind an older woman who was slowly navigating, putting her groceries on the belt to be checked out. She was the only person I noticed in front of me. I mean, I don't know why they're saying manoeuvred and navigating. Are they trying to sound smart? Yeah, like what kind of
the old
weird
lady's
ass...
like...
A few minutes later, another woman tries to edge her way in front of my cart. I gave her a quizzical look. They've just googled synonyms of normal words and then whacked them in there.
Yeah.
And she said, "Oh, I was here before, but I went to go and see if the other line was moving faster." I said, "Okay, but you weren't here when I arrived, so..." Shrug. The woman proceeded to inform me she was here first and that she should be let back in because she only stepped away to see if the other line was faster. I replied that I did not see her before I joined the line, so she could get behind me or go to the back of the line. At this point, she showed me that she only had a few things and was shocked I wasn't going to let her back in. She had 4 packs of Jello. That's an important shop right there. She could go hungry if she doesn't get that home. I pointed out that I too only had a few things and I wasn't going to move because I did not see her in the line in front of me when I joined. Now, this is where I may be the asshole. Ooh. Because so far I'd say... it's just common etiquette not to leave the line and go back in.
I would say if you're there with someone else, and
leave the
that
kid.
person stays, the child stays in there, and they're waiting for their mum to come back, and then they get their stuff is going across the thing, and then the cashier's like, "Cash your card," and then it's like a 5-year-old just like.
At this point, we're both getting frustrated in this grocery store pissing match. I don't remember that happening.
The grocery store pissing match for pole position.
She says, "So you're not going to let me back in? Where's your Christmas spirit?" I assume it's around Christmas time.
No, it's like March.
I'd had enough of her entitlement at this point, and I shot back, "Don't pull that shit. Honestly, if I had been behind her in line, I would happily have held her place if she asked. That's another thing you could have done, didn't think about that. But she wasn't there when I arrived, and she assumed she could just cut back in the line a few minutes after. Using Christmas spirit as a means to get what she wanted was the last straw for me. In the end, she glared at me and said, "I hope you have a Merry Christmas." Her voice dripping with sarcasm. It's like a fucking novel now. She left to go back over to another cashier. The irony is we both left the store of our items at the same time. So Reddit, am I the arsehole for not letting the woman cut in front of me and calling her out when she tried to use the Christmas spirit to get her way?
I think not an arsehole. Maybe didn't need to say don't pull that shit, but...
Also, the fact that they left the queue to see if there was a faster queue, and all they had was 4 packs of Jello. I mean, who's in that much of a rush to eat Jello?
Yeah, just stay behind the old lady as she's navigating, putting her things back on. Because then you come back, and then there's loads of people in the line you just left. Just stay in it. When you get there, you'll get your 4 packs of Jello through and you'll be gone.
Yeah, the Christmas line... I mean, I can see a lot of people saying that to try and ease their way back in, but yeah, you don't need to let them in. But from their perspective, they think the other person's the arsehole, don't they?
Yeah, but that's how arseholes think. I'm great. There's nothing wrong with me. Let me just cut in this line and beat up a baby real quick.
Whoa. I don't remember that part.
We don't need an English essay here.
Don't use synonyms. Just keep it simple.
I will gladly use good language, but
takes some time for you to say it though.
Yeah, should have asked the old lady. She would have held it.
Turns the trolley around. Stay back!
It's the meme of the this is where I make my stand.
Let's find out if I am the arsehole for confronting my uncle on a $700 debt while he brags to his family about a surprise vacation to the Maldives for his daughter as a Christmas present. Last September, my uncle Daniel, who's 43 years old, came up to me, I'm 22 years old, looking all stressed, and asked if I could sit down with him as he needs a favour. He began to speak on how he was really on a rough financial spot and he really had nowhere to turn as he didn't have anyone to ask for a loan from, and I was the only one left available. I don't know if the English is working here or if I'm dyslexic. Mind you, I'm not rich or anything of the sort. I just happened to have the amount he needed at the time. According to him, it was a serious situation that he couldn't approach or tell other guys in the family, and the issue needed to be addressed soon. Without better judgment, I lent him the cash after much insisting from him. We agreed on payment before December, and I didn't even ask for any interest on it. With lots of hugs and words, he took it and gave me his word on paying it. Fast forward, we're now at Christmas dinner at my grandma's house, and all that time I didn't give him any reminders or a checkup. I assumed he was late or something and he would let me know why at Christmas dinner, because the larger family meets every year for that. He also didn't call or say anything to update on the situation, and I just had to trust all was well. Now, on a related side note for later, my cousin AITA, the daughter of Daniel, recently underwent surgery a while back, and she really had it tough. And for the whole of last year, while she recovered from a traumatic back injury from an accident. Everyone was enjoying their meal, and suddenly my uncle stood up at the dinner table and called for attention for his speech. He began to speak on how his business really took a huge boost, and long story short, how he has just cashed in a large profit and some deals. He looked at Aisha across the table and took out some brochure with some resort-looking location and said it was a gift for her for a tough recovery from the incident. All I could see was Aisha visibly crazy excited. Someone asked what it was exactly, and Daniel said he was planning on taking Aisha and the rest of his family to the Maldives as a celebration on Aisha's accident recovery. Everyone was now happily cheering Aisha on her gift, as it seemed it was something she always wanted to experience. The Maldives is fucking expensive though, right?
Yes, very
That's
expensive.
one of the more expensive holidays you can do. You can afford all that, but not repay my debt, which you haven't said anything on. The words just slipped out my subconscious mind as I looked him straight in the eye. Right after that. I mean, it's not the best time to mention it. Why are you talking about that now, of all places? Now. I was pissed. The pissing match for pole position had begun.
It's back.
I reminded him in front of everyone was a granny with a trolley navigating her groceries.
Grandma was navigating the meat onto her plate for dinner.
I reminded him in front of everyone on the exact same amount, and I told him the fact on how he wasn't even communicating or repaying it. The entire family was in shock with dead silence, as my mum hurriedly changed the subject to avoid an escalation of the situation. Later on in the evening, my aunt, grandma, and some cousins began to lecture me on how I ruined Aisha's moment after a struggle and embarrassed my uncle in the process. They leave in a week, and he still hasn't paid or mentioned anything on the debt. Am I the arsehole for ruining the moment and asking for repayment? Oh, it's a tough one. You're the arsehole for ruining the moment, but you're not an arsehole for asking for the repayment.
No, you're not an arsehole for asking for the repayment because you've given your uncle money and he's not paid you back. And then is making a big show of how much money he's just made.
I think it's just if he said it later on, when the evening kind of approached and everyone's kind of just chilling around.
Yeah, if he'd come up and if he'd like spoken to the uncle privately.
Yeah,
he
didn't mention the fact that he's going on a holiday. Just was like, hey, I know, I lent you that money, and I'm kind of, I'm kind of in a position where I need that money again.
I'm 22 and you're 43 or whatever it was.
Mate. Yeah, unfortunately, I think unintentionally you were the arsehole.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that the uncle is not an arsehole.
Oh no, he's a massive arsehole. I mean, my heart goes out to Aisha for having to go through what she did and have her moment ruined.
Yeah, but she still gets to go on the holiday. So.
Still gets a holiday, and this guy doesn't get his money back.
Overall, he's not. I think he just sometimes, like you said, it just slipped out. Like
that's the impulse, right? That's the kind of thing you think to yourself and think, oh, that would have been really cool if I said that. But in reality, it's not very cool when you do.
Yeah, when you do, or your grandma comes up to you and is like, you shouldn't have said that.
I'm trying to navigate my meat. Am I the arsehole for not taking my girlfriend's side after she embarrassed my friend? My girlfriend, who's 19, called Fiona, and I, who's 21, have been together for around a month now. And yesterday, I brought her to a Christmas party with all of my friends to introduce her to them. Fiona got along with all of them well, though she was a little shy, understandably. It also made it difficult for her that most of my friends and I are international students, whereas she's born and raised in North America. For context, Fiona doesn't like to cause conflict and often is okay with letting things slide to keep the peace. However, if she's angered, oh boy, she's also the type to say something and can be a bit of a hothead. That being said, she's extremely sweet and understanding, which makes the situation all the more bizarre. Ooh. Fiona was quiet most of the party, occasionally piping in the conversation and letting it take its course around her. She was holding a bag, which I found out today is pretty expensive, around 2.7 grand. What's wrong with a bloody plastic carrier bag? Actually, I'll show you what I use. The groovy bag, thanks to Marie. Thank you, Marie. My friend Celia pointed out her purse and asked where she got it, to which Fiona explained that it was a gift from her parents. At this, Celia asked what Fiona's parents did. Fiona told her that her mum was a stay-at-home mum and her dad worked in the oil field. And Celia made a face and said, "You know, digging oil is horrible for the environment." At this, Fiona asked Celia if the clothes she was wearing were made of polyester or nylon. She had this prepared. She's had this conversation many times.
Yeah.
If she participated in fast fashion, if she took planes, or used solar-powered energies primarily.
She's like just asking lots of things to be like, do you fucking do anything for the environment? No, shut up, bitch.
She then asked Celia if she drew the line for being environmentally conscious as someone working hard to support their family. Fiona's tone was light, but I could tell she was angry. The rest of my friends laughed and told Celia that Fiona had a point and moved on. But Celia went quiet afterwards and left soon after. This morning, I got a text message from her that Fiona was extremely rude to her and that she didn't feel comfortable attending parties where Fiona was present anymore. This person is not very stable.
Get your words out, man.
Where are the words supposed to be?
Attending parties where Fiona was present anymore, that is.
You see what I mean? Yeah, eat that, bitch.
Parties where Fiona was
eat your fucking
anymore,
words.
And I.
Anymore and I. No, he's got it all in the wrong words. Words in the ways. She didn't want to tell me what to do, and that she thought I deserved someone better and less snobby. When I told Fiona, she went quiet and told me that the reason she snapped at Celia was because she was purposely acting as if Fiona didn't exist and being snide towards her. I tried to argue that Celia had never said anything off-putting, save for the oil field comment. Never said anything off-putting except for the oil field comment, and that Fiona should just apologise to keep the peace. But Fiona refuses and says, "I didn't pick up on it because I'm a guy and girls have subtext." Now Fiona and Celia are both upset with me and I feel bad for putting them in this situation. Am I the arsehole for not picking Fiona's side? What? He's not the arsehole here. It's the other people we should be thinking about.
He's not an arsehole, and also Fiona is not an arsehole.
I mean, the fact that Celia got upset for being called out, even though she made the original horrible comment.
Celia's just had a go at Fiona's dad.
Digging oil is who's just trying to provide for us. Obviously, oil is horrible for the environment, but at the end of the day,
but
it's
you gotta
a job,
do what you gotta do.
And the planet runs off of it, unfortunately. She could have been like, "Oh, that's nice. It's a shame it's bad for the environment, but money, money, money." Fiona's reaction, I mean, she's just defending
Plus,
herself.
she's also got her good, because, like, if she really did care about the environment that much, she would be making more strides rather than just being
100%
having a go at her dad's profession. Do you actually care? Because if you did, it's not hard to not get a Starbucks coffee. He didn't really do anything, which in its own way is like he told his girlfriend that she should have.
Fiona should apologise to keep the peace.
I would have been like, man, Celia was a bitch there, right? And if someone's repeatedly a bitch, they're gone.
Yeah, get them out.
Gone.
That's what my friend groups do. If you're a dickhead, there's the door. Actually, no, there's the door. Over there. Get out of my room. What the hell are you doing in my room?
Deserved someone better and less snobby.
Ooh.
If you say that directly to someone who's in a relationship.
Yeah, imagine if I said that to you about your wife.
I would literally be like, take your bold ass and literally piss off.
Well, I'm not going to say that. Lucky for you.
Lucky for me.
That was one way to end the channel.
Yeah, I
It's
just
over.
I just delete the channel immediately.
No!
I expose you for wearing a toupee all the time.
It's not a toupee, it's real. Look. Wait, where's my hair?
God, that's old head. Jesus
The shine.
Christ. Oh, my eyes! Well, guys, that was some more Reddit this time. Were you the asshole?
No.
Were you?
I wasn't. I swear. Your finger
the
read my
arsehole?
eyes. What the fuck?
If you liked it, as always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all of the YouTube jargon. Get it done. We'll have lots of videos coming for you. Just keep an eye out. There'll be plenty of stuff.
See you next time, guys.
Yeah. Sam won't. He's blind now. He's actually been faking his reactions the whole time.
I've been reading the script in Braille, don't worry.
r/confessions. I'm actually a blind reactor.
Well, we'll save that for the next one.
Oh, wait.
Blind reactor. I have no senses and I've got a reaction channel.